Ukraine formally applies for fast track into NATO membership.
Oh, they're going to be a made man? Not just a mafia associate?
I think so.
I'm putting you up to be made.
Made man. You're going to have your own crew. You could go anywhere you want. You're going to Sweden, Switzerland. Fuck them up. I don't care. Nobody can touch you.
But you kick up.
You always kick up.
Money flows up.
You give your respect.
Respect.
You give your respect. This is your tribute.
I should not come with my hat in my hand.
This is my tribute. So here's what Chomsky said about this.
The question that we ought to be asking ourselves is, why did NATO even exist after 1990? Throughout the whole history of the Cold War, we were told NATO is necessary to defend Western Europe from the Russian hordes, okay? No more Russian hordes. What happens to NATO? It expands, okay? It expands to the east. Its mission changed. Its official mission now is not to defend Europe from the Russian hordes. It's to control the global energy system. Sea lane.
That's exactly what this war is about. It's all about the West wanting to sell energy to Europe and screw over Russia.
You know what they call it? I saw a thing about it today. The area where all our bases are in the world, like that country is called the Great Area. That's
really?
On the maps. And, yeah, because I was trying to look up that RAND stuff. That's our empire. It's called the Great Area. Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Pipelines, and to serve as a U.S.-run intervention force. Well, you know, we're all educated intellectuals. We can now ask a question. What was the nature of the propaganda we were fed all those years? I mean, if NATO was there to defend the West from the Russians, why is it now expanding right to the borders of Russia, becoming a global U.S. intervention force, protecting sea lanes and pipelines and so on? What that tells us is all the talk about the Cold War was just a pure lie. And there's plenty more evidence for that, which we can go into.
Educated intellectuals don't talk about that stuff. So Ukraine on Friday formally requested an accelerated accession to join NATO. The move was intended to draw attention away from Vladimir Putin's elaborately staged speech earlier in the day, in which he announced the annexations to an audience seated under gilded chandeliers. I don't know what that means. Gilded chandeliers? What is it?
Oh, those are just really fancy chandeliers.
Highly decorative.
Right? Why would you?
It's gilding.
Why would they include that in the story?
Because they gilded the story.
Every democracy in Europe has the right to apply for NATO membership, and NATO allies respect that right. And we have stated again and again that NATO's door remains open. So that's...
But behind closed doors, we said it's not open.
But that's how you start a World War III. You keep expanding NATO. You keep breaking the promises you made.
Hey, we'll move in any territory we want.
Zelensky's announcement came mere hours after Putin, in his speech, vowed to use all the powers at his disposal to defend the four Ukrainian territories he annexed following a hastily organized sham referendum.
At least they had that. We didn't even have one about giving them money. They're like, oh, no, you're all into this.
I know.
They didn't even have a sham referendum.
I would have wished we had a sham referendum at least. They call them sham referendums, but...
sham referendum.
European countries condemn the votes as a pretext. They're all about... when it serves them, they're about stop the steal.
Yeah, right.
When the shit libs, they go, oh, yeah, you can't trust any election.
That amazing?
Yeah. European countries condemn the votes as a pretext to further violate Ukraine's sovereignty.
And by that, I mean our sovereignty.
Yeah. During his address, Putin called upon Kiev to cease military action and said Moscow was open to negotiations, although Ukraine has long insisted that it will not stop fighting. So Russia, by the way, when they say they're open to negotiations, they were open to negotiations, and there was almost a settlement in March or April. And then, of course, NATO sabotaged it.
Nice.
Right? So now Putin's like, well, F you.
He's calling them bitches.
We're not doing it anymore. So now, before we were willing to negotiate, now we're just telling you how it is. We're taking those areas. They're becoming a part of official Russia. We're annexing them. And that's that. And that's exactly how we said at the beginning of this, how the war was going to end. Russia was going to annex the Donbass, or it was going to become independent.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it depends on if we can get Mo Green or not.
And Ukraine is not going to be entered into. So this whole thing is not going to happen. Ukraine is not going to be admitted into NATO.
No, it's all
Russia is
ruined.
not going to put up with it. It's not going to happen. Russia and China won't put up with it. Zelensky responded in his own address, saying that while Ukraine was open to negotiations, such talks were impossible with Putin and would have to be with another Russian president. So he's being told to say that because that plays in the West, because the West doesn't want a negotiated settlement.
Zelensky said, believe me, I asked. They said no.
Yeah. The West wants the war. This is what the West wants. That's why they blew up the pipeline.
We wrote an essay about it on that thing you could read.
In his comments on Friday, NATO's Stoltenberg warned that Putin's mobilization of fresh troops, his nuclear saber rattling, and illegal annexation represent the most serious escalation since the start of the war. I would think us sending hundreds of billion, all those weapons to Ukraine for the last 8 years, I think that would be considered an
I
escalation.
think the nuclear talk, being cool about it's kind of a serious escalation more than...
How about us blowing up the pipelines? Do you think that was an escalation? How about that? How about all our sanctions on Russia? You think those are escalations? How about us getting in bed with literal Nazis in Ukraine to kill people in the Donbass? You think that was an escalation?
I mean, we're the police. We are supposed to do that. This is criminals.
I would love to have Chris Hedges here right now for this segment, but our goddamn internet, which is getting fixed for certain on October 15th. So we're getting our own dedicated landline for our goddamn fucking internet that isn't shared by the neighborhood, and that is supposed to solve all our problems. But that was told to me by an IT guy who turned out to be a criminal. Big criminal.
Think there is no great internet? It's like it doesn't exist. Was he Nigerian or something? Is that what?
No. He was pretending. He was one of those guys, super Christian, always suspect of super Christians.
What's super mean? Like he was like
super, like he said he said he goes,
Yes.
I celebrate Jesus' birthday on the 25th of every month.
What?
Yeah. That kind of fucking crazy.
Okay, I grew up super Christian. That is not.
First time I ever heard it done.
I swear I know of no, and I know a lot.
I should have got rid of him then. Like, you're nuts.
I know no Christian doctrine where you celebrate Jesus' birthday every month on the 25th. And if you had a Christian Hedges doctor, he has like a divinity degree. I promise to be like, that's not anywhere in all of Christian lore.
It's my own fault. I should have, when he said that, I should have went, hey, it's nice working with you. We're going to end today. Thanks. I'm going to pay you in full. And we're going to say,
hey,
God
tell
bless.
Jesus a happy birthday every month for the rest of your life, you maniac.
and then he stole fucking money from me. God damn
Happy
it.
birthday
That's always
to Jesus.
That's all. Yeah. Happy birthday. Did you do it on the 25th? When it was Jesus' birthday, did you steal that money from me?
That's what I mean by that. I steal money. I steal money every month on the 25th.
Virginia Beach, Richmond, Arlington, San Jose, Miami, West Palm Beach. Go to jimmydorcomedy.com for a link for all the tickets and become a premium member while you're there.